Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Temple of Speed. I love to hear those cars go by. This is the Mormon Cowboy.
This is TJ Krober.
Today in the Chopp'n It Up studios, we are talking to TJ Krober. He drives in the Cup and Truck Series, right?
Just trucks for now.
Just trucks right now. Number 8, dude. I've been a big fan of this guy for a while. I cannot believe he agreed to do an interview. We were doing some a little bit of fishing during the race yesterday. Probably not the best thing to do during a race, but hey, it makes Stryker happy. That's what matters. So everybody, welcome to the first episode of Temple of Speed. It's TJ Krober is going to be our first interview here in the Chopp'n It Up studios. So Krober, it's good to have you here. Winner, chicken dinner, baby, Kentucky. What a job, my man. Let's talk a little bit about Kentucky, dude. It's fuel saving. All the DBR guys pit, okay? All of them think nobody's going to make it, right? Not you. Did you know? You said you had like a lap and a half left.
Yeah, I had about 2.5 laps at the end there. I didn't think I was going to make it either. My two buddies that raced with me, Greg Whitehead and Anthony Shook,
okay,
they did the math, and they were like, hey, you should pit. We think you can make it. So that's why I went in. Otherwise, I would have stayed out just like they did.
Yeah, I wish that I was. So I got wrecked by Jason Day. It was an accident, but I know if I could have been on the same strategy, I'm a big fuel saver strategy guy. I'm like, I wish I was there. There was one of my chances gone. I know I wouldn't beat you though. You got some speed. So when I was in the booth watching you race with such zest, you are a fun driver to watch. Do you know what you do to be like a fun driver? Is that something you just have, or do you know like, hey, you got to make this entertaining for the broadcast?
That's just my style. I go out there, I just have fun. I try to race as clean as I possibly can around everybody, regardless of their I rating. So it could be the best guys out there. I'm going to race them the same as I would someone who has a 500 I rating. And I'm just patient. Just wait for my opportunity. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not, live to see another week.
Yeah, one of my biggest regrets is not being in the booth this week. It's because I haven't been in the booth in a while for SIG. But I remember I saw you, 2 or 3 times in the booth, and I'm like, when are you going to win?
I know. Maybe you can't be in the booth.
Yeah, I'm a curse for you, man.
Yeah,
I got to be on track, random start, not even on the roster for you to win.
And then I'll be following you for about half the race and not even realize it's you.
Yeah, you want to talk? Apparently, he didn't even know that I was that. So you didn't even know. Did you?
No,
when did you connect? Did you connect when I finally you heard my voice for long enough? You're like, oh, it's this guy.
Yep. Yeah, you keyed up on it like for the 30th time, and I'm like, oh, that's who that is. I recognize that voice.
I'm
used to you being in the booth, not racing. Yeah. I've never seen you on track actually. So
I raced.
That was the first time I've ever raced with you on track.
Yeah, I raced a bit. You didn't race the Chicago Street Course last year, did you?
Nope, I missed that.
Yeah, race. So you'll see me for the road courses. I'll make sure I'm there for the road courses because that's my specialty. Up until probably like February or March next year, there's going to be some changes. We're going to surely hear about this on the Temple of Speed podcast. But we're going to try to get much episodes stored up for you guys before I am gone for a long time. No, it was a really fun race to be in. I really wish I could have been there. I didn't pit. But I believe I was the last caution was that day. And no, it wasn't, because I was able.
Yours didn't bring out a caution, I don't think.
It did. That was the one that didn't bring out the caution was the Michael Strickland one. Yeah. Mine was
in my mirror when you got bumped and kind of got loose there on the bottom.
Yeah, and I went up the racetrack and took out Jason Day.
Yeah.
And then and then chaos ensued behind. Apparently I got a whole bunch of people. How about that spinning wreck with Big Art? Did you see that? Dude,
back on the replay, yeah, he flipped like 20 times.
Like 20. I went underneath him.
And then he comes back out on the track and he's still running.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. So he ran until he went 2 laps down, and he was like, "This isn't even worth it," because he got the car pretty much fixed up, and the car had no speed, and he's like, "There's no point for me to be here." He just dipped.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Made it
Yeah,
further
no.
than I would have.
Yeah, you made it pretty far, but um, and then I was racing with Dub. It was a lot of fun. But so you race with Greg Whitehead and Anthony Shook. I'm sure Anthony Shook has had plenty swear words about me before because I know I've gotten into him with a little bit. He seems to follow me into every incident. It seemed like when I was racing.
No, he didn't seem to mention anything about you. I guess him and Jerry got into it a race ago or a couple races ago.
Yeah, yeah, we
So that was
covered
it.
that on the
Yeah,
podcast.
like I said, I've been out of the loop, so I missed a lot. But Jerry was the only one he mentioned, so
Yeah,
he must not have done anything too bad to him.
he would recognize me as Grayson Lucas, not Bryant Lucas.
Ah,
Got a quick name change, but yeah, it's I like Anthony Shook's always been good to me. I don't really see Greg Whitehead that much.
yeah, Greg's silent, man. He just runs his own little race, and he's usually there at the end and picks up top tens. He'll there's various tracks where he'll be there. Super speedways, he's always up there.
Yeah.
But Shook's a little aggressive at times, but he's a good dude, and his time's coming.
Okay. Yeah, his time's coming. He's a good guy. Um, let's talk a little bit more about your life. I'm more concerned about who you are because we want to learn who is TJ Krober, the driver of the number 8 Chevrolet in the Chopp'n It Up Speedy Trophies Truck Series. Sorry, in the Chop Shop Speedy Trophies Truck Series. So you're 38. You were born in Denver, but quickly moved to Arizona. What part of Arizona did you move to?
Mojave Valley.
Mojave
So,
Valley. Where is that?
Bullhead City, if anyone's ever heard of that, or Laughlin, Nevada. It's real close to there. Lake Havasu, it's maybe 45 minutes from Lake Havasu where I was at.
Okay. Okay. So like the northwestern part of the state.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Yeah.
About an
Okay.
hour and a half from Vegas.
Okay. Yeah. Not bad.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a fun. That's actually. I've heard that's a decent drive. Actually, it's not a bad drive.
No, not at all.
Yeah. You got to go up and over that bridge, and you don't got to go across the dam anymore. What that they stopped doing that? What 2000?
I'm not too sure. I don't
I
know.
believe it was
We usually go
2000.
around, yeah, the backside there, like avoid all the city stuff,
Okay, yeah.
like a back route to it. Yeah.
I never knew there was a back route. I thought you had to go over that bridge going up and over the dam.
No, yeah. So I think you're talking about like near Laughlin, but no,
Okay.
there's a back way. Where I lived in Mojave Valley, you go through Needles, California, and
Okay.
then come around the backside of the mountain, if you want to call that a
Do you
mountain.
come through Prim?
No, not that. No, Searchlight is back there.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so Mojave Valley.
Yeah.
And you were raised by your dad's grandparents?
Yep. So I was raised by my grandparents from my dad's side. So, yep, parents or my dad wasn't really ever in the picture. So my
Is
mom
that
just,
is that weird? Like so your grandparents raised you, but your dad's grandparents, but you never knew your dad really.
yeah, he was never really in the picture. No, we looked at him. We didn't know any better. So we kind of
Okay.
looked at him as our parents. It wasn't until we got older and realized that this was our
We.
grandparents. Me and my older brother. Yep.
Oh, so there's two. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your older brother's name?
Chris.
How much older?
So he's 3 years older than me.
Okay. Are you guys still in
Yeah.
touch?
Oh yeah, he's here in Denver, Colorado. Yep.
Okay. So
I'm real. All my siblings are here. I have a few others as well.
okay. That's the one that you really grew up with when you
Yeah.
were younger. Okay. Okay. So did your mom have more kids? So you move Oh, let's first talk about so like growing up in the Mojave Valley in Arizona, what is there to do before like what did you do basically? Like what
So
things were you up to?
yeah. So when I grew up there was absolutely nothing there. It was a town where everybody knew everybody. Everybody was in everybody's business. So the only thing to do there was either play football as a kid, and then on the weekend they had a dirt track there. So we'd go there and watch the sprint cars and all the different cars that they'd have out on the track. But every Saturday night, that's where we'd be.
Which racetrack?
It's just Mojave Valley
Mojave
Raceway.
Valley?
Yep.
What cars
Yep.
usually were
Real
racing?
small. They'd have midgets there a lot.
Okay.
Sprint cars, wing sprint cars. which is crazy because it's such a small track, and them things are just ripping around there.
Buzzing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was really all there was to do. A water park. That was our main attraction there. Not a very big
A
one.
water park. You
Yeah,
better
like
have that. You're in
few
Arizona.
slides. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We had the river right there, Colorado River. So
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
if you have the color, so are you on which side of the Grand Canyon are you then? What side of it are you on?
I've never been to the Grand Canyon in my life, so I couldn't
But
even
you
tell
but
you
you were
yet.
close. But you were
Never been there.
okay. That's
But
pretty
the
cool.
Colorado River it separates Nevada with Arizona. If you
Yes,
cross the river, yeah,
you're in Nevada.
yep.
Yeah,
And then if you cross the river, a different way, you're in California. So right where
exactly.
we are living we're literally like a mile from California or a mile from Nevada, depending on
Oh,
which way you go.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I never thought of that. Um, you set a field on fire?
Yeah. So when I was just as a kid, I was fascinated with fire.
Oh,
So I'd
yeah.
stolen some matches. Me and my older brother, we got the bright idea of stealing my grandma's matches, going into a field of nothing but dry grass because it's Arizona and everything's dead and dry.
Yeah.
And we lit a little pile of grass on fire around all the other grass, and sure enough, lit the whole field on fire. Fire department, shows up, drags us back to our grandparents' house, and yeah, that's the only time in my life I've been grounded by my grandparents. They're real level-headed. Didn't ever get mad, but it was one of those where they looked at you and you just knew you
You're
screwed up.
like,
Yeah,
oh crap.
yeah. Oh man, I'll just go to my room for the next month.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
just ground myself here.
yeah,
Oh man. Oh, field on fire. Okay, so
yeah.
your mom comes back into the picture. So mom or dad weren't in the picture until you were 13. So
Yep.
was it was just mom and dad basically to you, great grandparents were, right? It
Yeah.
was just normal for you. It
Yep.
wasn't weird. I guess it wouldn't be weird to you. That'd just be normality.
Yeah, it was normal for us. When I was about 10, we started to come back to Colorado during the summer break. So
Hmm.
we knew our mom. We
Okay.
talked to her on the phone, but when we were 10, we'd actually come back and visit her.
Okay.
So we'd visit for the summer. So when I moved back out to Colorado with
It was
her, it wasn't as
so
weird.
you said dad wasn't in the picture, right? Was there something that happened with dad that made him not in the picture, or is he just out living his own life?
He just kind of fell off the deep end. He was real bad into drugs, like real bad. So he kind of just did his own thing. He would come around the family once in a blue moon, but he was kind of the black sheep of the family.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's interesting. Okay. That'd be so hard to be those grandparents.
yeah. No, they're great. They loved it. Kept them young.
Are they still with you?
Yep, they still are. Yep.
Enjoy that time while you got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Man, times are
So,
clicking for them. They're not doing too hot, but they're still here.
oh,
I go
mine
visit
are.
them every year.
I was literally before I came over here. I was with my grandpa. I was talking to them about stuff, about church stuff.
Yeah.
Church stuff. We're talking to them about church stuff. So, yeah, Team Jesus, let's go. So that's interesting. So you move officially over to Denver, Colorado when you're 13.
Yep. Yep. So our mom decided that she was ready to, get back in our lives and was ready to bring us to Colorado. So
That's
my
good.
grandparents have always told her, when you
When it's
feel you're
time.
ready, yeah, they're your kids. So
They're your kids, yeah. And that's an amazing thing. You have to have some really good grandparents to be able to go,
yeah.
hey, I understand that father's not in the picture, but we have your back.
Hmm.
Even though we're not related. And this was, I don't know what you call it, but so is your brother with the same father too?
Yeah. Yep. My
Okay,
older
so
brother is. Yep.
were they married?
They were. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, yeah, that takes some really good grandparents to have the separation and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
all right, so past 13, um, any crazy things you did as a kid that in junior high or high school you're just like, what?
Uh, Not too much as like a preteen. Once I got into high school, yeah, started doing some crazy stuff. Got into a lot of drugs and alcohol at a somewhat of a young age.
Where did that get you in
Yeah.
life?
uh, Actually, got me pretty far because not
Huh?
at that time, but it was definitely a life lesson, and it set me on my path to where I am today. So, and made me the person I am today. So,
I get that 100%. Like I up to like 3 months ago, I was on my what I call my apostate, um, where I was off, and the last 5-6 years I didn't do anything illegal. I drank underaged. I did legal. I had legal avenues of getting high that you didn't have back then, though. So it's
yeah,
different. Um, and so I experienced all that. Then it was kind of weird. What It's weird. The thing that brought me back was a bad experience with a girl.
ah,
So I was like, that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. And so I understand you did some things and you're just like, and coming from this perspective now, like I've come back like to the my religion. I've come to religion and I know that, hey, I've had these experiences. And so now I can help other people who's had those experiences. I don't know what this TV just did. Okay, there we go. Who's had these experiences? Apparently, I think as I was talking to it, it's got like some speak feature where you can say like I don't know, and it does it. Um, but basically, you have these experiences, and I understand it sets you up for the rest of life. All right, I know, like even when I'm around other people, like I had an incident. What was it? I took a girl on a date like 2 weeks ago. It was awesome.
nice.
Took her to Josh Turner. Do you know who Josh Turner is?
Oh, yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I took her to Josh Turner, and there was a slow song, and so we danced. And then a drunk guy comes up to us, and we're LDS, so we don't drink. We're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints. We don't drink, any of that kind of stuff. Word of wisdom. Um, the guy's just drunk as crap. Comes up to us like, "Oh, is it your first date? You guys are so cute." And and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it was great." I'm like giving him half fives and stuff. And my date turns to me and she goes, "Why are you just like so chill with this guy? Like, why are you like vibing with him and just going, yeah, dude, you're having a good time, and, like telling him like stuff, like basically vibing with him and not telling him to screw off, basically." And
yeah,
I'm like, I've been in his shoes.
yeah,
I know what he's doing. He's having a good time. There's no reason for me to ruin his night,
yeah,
And she's like, okay, like you've had these experiences, and I know you're probably in the same boat. You're like, or like even when I'm like at like I'll go do something, and then, or like I'll go to McDonald's or something, and I'll look at the guy that's taking your order, and you look at him, and you're just like, gosh, they are high out of their mind right now. That dude
yeah,
is cooking.
yeah,
And you're just
yeah,
like, and you're like, and then I'm like, and then we sit down. I'm like, dude, the guy at the counter was so high, and everybody's like, how do you know? I'm like, because I've
been
been
there.
there.
Yeah,
I've
been
been
there,
there.
done
I
that.
know.
Yeah,
Like, I know what's going through their head. I know why they're talking really slow. Like, I get it. And so you get these sympathy for people. And so I think that's kind of what you're
yeah,
talking about.
oh
Of
yeah,
you had these experiences. You wish they didn't happen, but also you don't regret what you learned.
yeah. Not at all, not one bit. It helps you identify, like you were just saying. So when you see other people, like some guy acting weird or something, you don't just judge them like, well, this weirdo. You can spot those kind of things and sympathize with them, like you said. And, just understand he's going through a rough patch too, just like you did.
Exactly. And so is that so you have kids now, all right? You got married. So when did you get married?
Got married in 2007. Yeah.
I was 6.
Oh man.
Does that make you feel old?
Yeah. Jeez.
I'm 22.
Oh
That
my God.
I'm a youngin.
Jeez.
So you got married in '06. So when did you have your first kid?
I had my first kid in 2009 when I had got back. I was actually in the military, so when I got out of or back from Iraq in 2009,
So
I had my
son,
first child. Son,
daughter. Oh, you
son first.
served.
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. You didn't even put that on the list.
We never made it that far. We only.
Oh, I cut it off. Yeah.
Yeah, we're there now though.
That's good. Serving in Afghanistan.
Iraq.
So Iraq. What army? What?
I was in the army for 5 years.
Uh,
Yeah.
just nothing like a ranger. Anything special?
No, never made it to anything special. I was a military police, and then
Oh, you're an MP.
yep, I was an MP.
Oh, that's
So,
interesting. I heard that you guys are like the hated ones.
we are. No, not too many people like this.
Oh,
Yeah,
how was?
I was cool though. I didn't bust too many people. I would sympathize with them, and you pull somebody over who's drunk. You'd be like, dude, just get in the back of the car. I'll
Like,
take
let me
you
just take
home.
you home.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's one thing I never did. I never drank and drive. Never
yeah.
drove.
It's the
Like, it's
worst.
like, do not do that, folks. If you do that, I'll come
Yeah,
to your house
yeah, that's
and try to teach you who Jesus is, and you don't want me to do that.
right.
Um, but so being an MP, so what base did you serve on?
I was in Fort Riley, Kansas.
Fort Riley,
Yeah,
Kansas. Did you pull over any Karens?
all the time. Usually officer wives. So
Officer.
any wife that was, their husband was an officer.
And they'd go,
Immediate
"Do you
cancel.
know who my husband is?"
Exactly what they would say.
And what would
And
you
I'd
say?
say, I don't care who your husband is. And once they said that, I knew that their husband was an officer. So I'd always write them tickets. So they'd always get the ticket.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But the
You're
enlisted
just like,
people,
Karen, screw on
yep,
these. You're
yep,
like,
yep. Anytime it was an officer or an officer's wife, ticket immediately.
any cool
So,
stories with that?
I wouldn't say cool. So I got into traffic accident investigating when I came back to the
Oh,
States. So I'd investigate any fatalities or major crashes, and you'd, you know, reconstruct the entire thing on AutoCAD. Like it was pretty neat. But we've seen some pretty gruesome fatalities there in Fort Riley. So like I said, it's not cool for us. It was cool because that was our job.
because it was
But
interesting. You actually
yeah,
got to go do something.
yeah. So it was cool to like piece a scene together and know exactly how fast they were going at this point and this point and how many times they rolled. And so it was a neat job. I should have stuck with it.
Yeah. What do you do now?
So now I'm a maintenance manager for a farm, for a chicken farm.
Oh yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah,
We talked about this. All right, we'll get to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, okay, so you served in the military. Any other cool military stories?
No, just typical military stuff, doing
Did you
stupid
eat
stuff.
crayons?
I didn't do that. That's Marines, I think, that eat those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah. What is it? The army ones? The army. I think they just say that. I don't know what they did for the army guys. But yeah. So you had your first daughter. It was a daughter,
Son.
son.
First one was a
What's your
son.
son's
Yeah,
name?
Aiden.
All right, Aiden.
Yep.
What's what? He's 14, 15 now.
He's 14 now. Yep.
14.
Yeah.
What's Aiden into?
Now he's into girls. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's his second girlfriend. So his first one last year broke his heart, and he went through the whole depression stage. Oh, my life's over. Was good, and now he met another one. He just started high school, so he met a new girl, and now that's all he does. He was into sports before all of this.
then he got distracted.
Yeah, now it's all about the girls.
Oh man, I wasn't. Were you like that in high school?
No, not at all.
I wasn't either.
No.
Like I was the last of my worries.
Yeah, I was really just there to have fun. I wasn't there to learn. I was there to screw around, have
Huh.
fun,
I
fun
was
with
there to
friends,
learn.
and
My
yeah,
high school experience was weird because I kind of went to like college for high school. Then I got kicked out and went to high school for like 5 months and then graduated. So I didn't really
a
get a
little
high school
different.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably good.
Well, I
Something like
actually learned stuff unlike
yeah,
other
me.
people.
I didn't learn anything.
I went to a normal high school and I went to like an advanced high school, and I know you guys don't learn diddly squat.
No,
So
no.
you really just go and you play every day. It's basically a babysitting service.
Yeah.
That's really what school is in the United States. But so just girls right now. That's all he's worried
That's
about.
all he does. He really loves basketball,
That's
but
good. Does he like NBA or does he like playing?
he loves playing, and then he's also obsessed with the NBA too.
So is he a
Like
Nuggets
pretty much
fan?
every he is big
Is he a
Nuggets
Nuggets
fan.
fan? Is he a Paul Millsap fan?
No,
Didn't know who Paul
Huge Jokic fan.
Jokic,
Yeah.
Jamal Murray. He likes Jamal Murray.
Yeah, he likes all the Nuggets, but mostly Jokic.
Mostly the MVP. Eh?
Murray, yeah, Murray. I hear him yelling at the TV whenever Murray's
Doing something.
screwing up, or yeah,
Yeah, because Mr. Jokic is Mr. I can play point guard as a center, so
yeah,
he's a pretty cool guy. Jokic is a very unique player. It's gonna be rare to find another player like Jokic.
yeah.
So do you sit down with your son and watch basketball games?
I will. Yeah. I'll watch. I only playoffs. Like I can't do the whole regular season.
I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, come playoff time. I actually took him when the Nuggets were in the finals. I took him to one of the games
Oh,
down in
really?
Denver.
How was
Yeah,
that?
that was awesome. Thank God I didn't have to pay for the ticket. My mom bought us tickets. They were like $1,200 for nosebleed seats.
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah, but it was awesome. Crazy experience. I mean, just packed down there. So it was cool.
Oh,
He had fun.
yeah, I'm a Jazz fan, so
Yeah.
that's why I asked about Paul Millsap.
Did they just get him or something?
No, no, he's retired. He's
That's right. He's
retired,
getting
but no,
old.
he started his career with the Jazz. So
Uh, yeah, I
yeah,
don't follow the Nuggets too close. I just whatever he tells me, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man.
yeah, but you'll watch and
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's I just want to emphasize as a 22-year-old kid, I can have a different perspective, and I know you have the same. I don't know if you do or not because you grew up very differently than I did. Um, those times sitting there watching jazz, like I sat there with my dad and would watch jazz basketball, those moments are so important. Or when I'd sit there and watch the NASCAR races, back in the day when they watched him in the 2000s and early 2010s, they're like those moments and those times are the ones that they're going to remember.
yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
those are the times they're like I sat there and we had a good time with my dad. So those times are really important, and savor those times because they may not savor it now, they will later.
Oh
I
yeah,
promise.
yeah.
They'll go, "Oh, I get to hang out with my dad," you know,
Hmm.
because I still will go randomly over to my dad's house and I'll say NASCAR race. They'll go, sweet, sit there, turn on the NASCAR race, and he wasn't into NASCAR. He stopped doing NASCAR. I actually brought him back into NASCAR, and now we're like, we'll sit there and I talk to him. We'll talk about, oh, how's Brad Keselowski doing this? Oh yeah, because we're Mark Martin fans.
Ah,
Mark Martin,
yeah,
and all
yeah,
everything. I'm a big fan.
yeah.
You know, this is because my last name's Lucas, so it's cool to see our big name on the car. And this is the car we. So I took my dad back to Auto Club, and for the last race at Auto Club is the race I wanted to go to, and this is the car that won the race. Kyle Busch won.
Oh yeah,
And so it
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, this is important to us, and our name's on the hood. It was like, this is cool.
heck yeah.
But I brought my dad back in, and those times are so important. Your son's never going to forget that experience. He is
No,
never going to. My dad took my uncle Mark to the 1998 game 5, or was it 97? Game 5, Jazz versus the Bulls. He flew him out from Salt Lake City after he just got back from his mission. He had some weird stuff like a break in his mission, an LDS mission, a church, basically an LDS mission. You take 2 years. He had a weird break in his, but he got flown out there, did it. He's never forgetting that experience.
yeah,
And it
that's
was,
awesome.
yeah, like just keep that in mind. Those experiences are important. Yeah, does he like NASCAR at all? He's like racing or?
Uh, it's weird. He does now because I don't know if you probably don't use it actually, but DraftKings, I'm sure you've heard of it.
I've heard of it. It's a gambling, yeah.
So yep. So I bet on Kyle Busch every week, and obviously I've lost all my
A lot
money
of, yeah.
this year.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
lost. You
but
almost got it.
yeah, but he likes to be like, hey Dad, put in one for so and so, and he'll watch the race for me just to see if that guy's gonna win.
Yeah.
So I don't know, he's not really into NASCAR yet, but he'll
He
watch it
likes
because
he likes betting.
he wants to know if he's gonna win money. Yeah,
He wants to
yeah,
gamble. That's crazy.
yeah.
Don't teach him young, Krober.
I
What the
know. Hey,
heck? What are
hey,
you?
I don't know. He's got to pick up some bad habits, and if gambling's one of them,
It could be worse. There could be
yeah,
worse. That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. I was doing
Like
far worse when I was his age, so
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. From,
And
from what we heard.
it's
All
controllable.
right. So Aiden, right?
Yep.
Loves
Aiden.
basketball and loves gambling. Sorry, I had to say. Sounds like a good kid. Good grades.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Okay,
Very
good.
good kid. So that he's got that going for him.
That's good. That's good. Does he play? Like, is he trying to play basketball in high school, or
He,
just is a fun
yeah,
thing?
he's gonna try. Yeah, he played all through middle school, so
That's good.
yeah.
So hopefully he can. I'll be watching for it. When I see up on the screen when Krober makes it to the NBA, I'll go. I raced against his daddy. I raced against.
Yeah. If it ever happens, I'll bring you to a game.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I don't know what's wrong with this TV today. It doesn't like me. All right. So Aiden. All right. So 2009, you have Aiden after you served. What are you doing for work
Uh,
then?
Back then
Yeah.
or now?
Back
Back then,
then.
I was still in the service.
Oh,
So
okay.
yep, I didn't get out till 2012.
Okay. Did you have another? You had a daughter?
I did. I had a
When?
daughter in 2013. So you're
Okay.
asking
So
questions
just
that the
after you got out of
moms
the
know.
service. Okay.
Don't ask me for specific birthdays because that's a mom question.
That's a mom question.
2013, I had my first daughter. Yeah,
Okay. All right. And her name?
Mila.
Mila.
Yeah,
I've never heard that one.
yeah.
That one's cool. What were you doing for work at the time when she was born?
So when she was born, I was working for Nestle Waters, so they make the Pure Life water. So I was working for them at the time as a maintenance tech.
um, a maintenance tech. What is that job? What do
Yeah.
you do for that?
So there they have obviously machines that blow the bottle up, fill it up. So I was just working on all of that stuff,
Okay, yeah.
fixing whatever they had, rebuilding stuff.
All right, so Mila. So that's gonna make Mila 11.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, just about to turn 11, but yeah,
just about to turn 11.
October.
I got good math so far. So Mila. So she's into softball.
Big time. Yep. Real
That's
big
good.
into
At least
softball.
he's not into boys.
Well, that I know of. That I know of. Because a lot
I
of
will
times when I
pray for
try to
you.
grab her phone, she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Trying to hide in your phone, girl. So maybe, but I don't snoop on their stuff. I'll let them be
You're
them.
like, I'm gonna let you make the mistakes like I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You're gonna have
A
to
little
figure it
heartbroken.
out.
Yeah,
See, my parents weren't that way. They would pull me in and they'd sit me down and, why are you doing this? And blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my gosh,
no, I'll
I
let
don't
them
want to have
learn.
this conversation. Ah. So not into boys that you know of, but she
Yeah,
won't let you see your
yeah,
phone. Got it.
yeah. So yeah.
Just
So that
wave the
answers
red
the
flag.
question. Yep.
Wave the red flag. So softball. So she's really good.
I wouldn't say she's really good. She's getting there. So
She's having fun.
yeah. So beginning of last year, 2 years ago, sorry, was her first year, and I started coaching. Because she didn't want to play unless I coached. So it's her second year of softball, my second year of ever coaching softball. But she's getting there. She's almost ready for the comp league. She plays in the rec league now.
Oh, nice.
So by next season, she'll be ready.
Sounds good. You don't have to coach the comp league. You'll be good.
Nope.
You're gonna
No.
get out. You're like, yes.
Now I can finally watch it and enjoy it. But,
Exactly. Sit back and grab a book because they're long games. Because they're long.
yeah,
That's what
they're
I was
exciting
told.
though.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was told when I went to my. I guess it's a little different because I go to my little 6-year-old nephew's
Oh
games and
God.
they
No.
say, "Bring a book." Just
Yeah.
it's agonizing, and he's
Yeah.
out there, looking up, looking at the grass.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking the flowers out or the weeds and yeah.
Yep.
I could not do it if she wasn't at least 10, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So big into softball. Any doing good in school?
Yeah, she's doing good. She doesn't do as good as her older brother. She's a little more like me when I was a kid. Attention span's real short.
Little
Likes to,
ADHD.
yeah, likes to screw around a lot. But good kid. She doesn't get in any trouble. She just
That's good.
likes to joke around a little
She
bit.
will.
Yeah, she'll get there.
Just you
Not
just
looking
prepare
forward to
for it.
it.
Your kids are gonna make you lose your hair. I'm surprised you have as much as you do. You have 4 kids. You should have less hair than that.
That's the Asian in me.
Oh, it's the Asian in you? I
Yeah.
didn't see that till you said that. Oh, because you said your mom's from Thailand.
Philippines.
Philippines, pardon.
All the same. No.
To me, yes. To you,
Yeah,
no.
to me, it's the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay, well, Mila. All right. So I hear you had a rough patch.
Yeah. So after Mila and Aiden's mom, we got divorced 2018-ish, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So divorced, kind of lost everything. I did. In Colorado, you got to give everything to the woman.
Utah
She
too.
took it all, and pretty
Happily.
much started from scratch. Yep. And about a year later, I met my current girlfriend, but pretty much my wife. We've been together ever since then. So 5 years. What is that? You're the mathematician here.
Sorry.
2019.
2019? 5 years, yeah.
5 years. 5 years now.
You're supposed to know this stuff. If the anniversary is coming up, you just don't forget the
I
anniversary.
don't know these dates. Yeah, that's the one thing you can't forget. Yeah, you forget everything.
What's the date? Do you remember it?
No, I don't. I'd have to
You're
look it up.
screwed. Do not let her
phones.
watch this
We got
podcast.
We got smartphones.
Do you know what month it is at least?
Yeah, it's in March.
Hey!
Yeah.
So he knows when it's coming up, guys. So he's going to go, okay, it's coming up to March. Can't remember what day this is so I don't get in trouble.
Yeah,
it's going to come like
my calendar.
2 years from now. It's going to be March, and the wife's going to walk up to him and she's going to go, do you know what day it is?
Yeah.
Oh, what day?
St. Patrick's Day? Or
is it some holiday?
Yeah.
It's our anniversary.
Yeah. I get in trouble like that with her all the time. But she's pretty cool about it. That's why we're still together, probably.
That's good. That's good. So you get married well, not married, but you meet your girl in 2019. Basically, you're married. Just that now you're not so married that you're going to lose everything now.
Yeah.
When did you have the first? So you had another boy or a girl first?
So another boy.
Another boy.
Yep.
All right. What year did you have him?
Boy in 2020.
2020. What were you doing for work then?
2020. I was at a place called All American Pet Proteins out in Greeley, Colorado.
Okay.
And yeah, I was the plant manager there.
So you did a lot of management, it sounds like.
Yeah, thanks to the military, I think. They, I don't know, they kind of, a lot of companies, I'm sure it's like this everywhere, they take that into consideration. They think that we're mature and we can manage people. Little do they know.
Little do they know what actually happened.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried too. So I'm going through my religious journey, and I'm going to be going to go serve a 2-year mission at a much older age. So I'm about 5 years late on serving us. And so, and like I talked to like people about it, they're like, oh, we need you. We need the older, mature kids because we need them as leaders in the mission. And I was like, oh man, I know I've prepared my entire life doing National Youth Leadership Training Camps for the Boy Scouts of America. I did merit badges and stuff for the Boy Scouts. Like I was big into Boy Scouts. I'm a Life Scout. I was literally the project away from getting and I'm like, I understand I've been prepared for that, but like still you're like, I'm going on a mission and I'm going to have to lead people.
You're like, I thought I was just going on to have fun.
No, it's not fun. It's work.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You ever had them knock on your door?
I have. Yeah, when I was out in Kansas in the military. I'd
Did you let them in
all the time. Oh,
that's good.
If
I get called to Colorado, you give me your address. I'm gonna come knocking. Don't slam the door in my face.
Well,
you better let me try out that sim rig while I'm there though, because I'm gonna be dying to. All right, I'm gonna have to leave no sim racing for 2 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But No, that's good.
Mine.
So so you had a son.
Yep,
What's his
another
name?
son. So his name's Amari.
Dude, you have the sickest names. Oh my gosh, Amari. How do you spell that?
Amari.
Amari.
Yep.
That's so cool. Not to be confused with Amar. You guys know who that is. You don't.
No.
Amari. That's cool. All right, so Amari's what? 2020, so he's 4.
Yep.
What is his big thing right now? Sharks, dinosaurs. What is it?
He's huge into Monster Jam.
Monster Jam,
Yeah.
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 I took my nephew Everett, the one that says 6. Took him to the NASCAR races. Then I took him to Monster Jam. Monster Jam, much better for
Oh
kids.
yeah. Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
love it. Yep.
What's his favorite?
He collects all the it has to be Monster Jam too. You get him
Okay.
any monster truck, he'll know. Nope,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not a Monster
He's
Jam
like,
car.
that's not a
Yep.
Monster Jam truck.
No one.
Oh,
But he
so he knows
collects the
branding.
little models, and he probably has like I'd say close to 60 of them already.
60?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's
Dang.
going to be a great big NASCAR fan. He's
Yeah.
going to have all
Oh,
the
yeah.
die. Like, this is my diecast collection. I don't have that much. All right. He's going to have this whole thing full.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. Like, I got my. Oh, I guess there's more diecasts over here. There's some older ones. But,
Yeah, he's already got a little shelf with all of them lined up on there
This
perfectly.
is car. So this is my car from when I was a kid. My dad was a big Mark Martin fan. So this is my car. His cars look like this, or they're just like torn. Just
Yeah.
they've been rammed in.
No, his are not like that. No.
No, he takes
No.
care of them.
Oh yeah.
See,
He'll play
played
with them
hard.
for a little bit, and then he puts them on the shelf, and they don't ever go anywhere.
Yeah, because I played with this one. Because this one's always my favorite. This one's the one I like mostly remember playing with. And then I've got my Jeff Green car. You know, like all childhood cars. Actually, I think this one came out of the set behind me. Oh no, those are too old.
I actually just found this at the thrift store for $2.
Let's take a look.
$2.
What is that? Oh, not bad. Oh man,
Brand new in the box still.
where did my poster go? I didn't even know where my poster went. I got something just like that I got for Christmas. It's a Dale Earnhardt. It basically goes over Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jr.'s career. It's insane. It's signed. Like, it used to be hanging right here, but I have since moved it somewhere, but I don't know where. Yeah, no, love the. Do you have diecasts?
I don't. I've always wanted to start collecting them, but I'm an addictive person, so if I start collecting them, I'll probably
see. I'm not too bad. I'm not like I'll go and I'll buy specific schemes. So like, that's a specific scheme I went out and looked for and bought. Like these ones are like I'm like okay, I just like Alex Bowman. This is a Brad Keselowski. I like Brad Keselowski. This one is the Charlotte scheme that's important. This one I like because my dog passed away. My best friend passed away about 2 years ago. So that's the best friend scheme. That's the Lucas Oil scheme. That's this one. Where is the one that's... There it is. So this is the Alex Bowman, Mark Martin throwback. That one was specifically bought. Actually, bought 2 of them. One for my dad, one for me. Alex Bowman's my favorite driver. I'm not a Hendrick fan. I'm an Alex Bowman fan. It's not normal, is it?
See, I'm a Hendrick fan, but I'm Kyle Busch, like, is my driver. I love Kyle Busch.
So you love my poster then? You like my flag?
Really, anybody who's in the number 8. So I was a big Junior fan.
Oh, okay, I see.
He left and was like, eh.
Yeah,
I actually stopped watching NASCAR as well, like your dad.
Okay. Did you come back yet, or no? You just like to race?
Yeah. No, I've been back watching for probably 3 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been back watching ever since the Rams went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Is his name?
Yeah.
It's not the one that they won. It's the one that they lost.
Yeah.
It was just Jared Goff. Yeah. So ever since that Super Bowl, I've been watching.
Okay.
I saw the ad. I'm like, I want to go watch this. Fell in love.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, 4 years old, loves Monster Jam. What's his name again?
Amari.
And he collects the trucks. What's his favorite truck? Is it Gravedigger? Son of a Gravedigger?
Yeah, he's big into Gravedigger. He's got like a million different versions of them.
Oh, God, there's so many.
Yeah. Yeah, every time we go, there's a new one or a different one. It's like, oh
Oh
great,
yeah.
now I got to get this.
Like, great. Now I gotta buy this one. You gotta stand on the really long line at the merch counter. You're like,
Yeah, he does like the megalodon,
oh, Megalodon's cool.
another
Yeah.
yeah shark. But yeah, he loves it. It's, and I don't mind it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And you get it. Like, did you get to go with him to Monster Jam?
Yeah, yep. We went
Yeah,
to
that's fun. You
Colorado.
get to hear the engines,
Yeah.
watch people light on fire. I loved it. It was so much fun
Hmm.
for me. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's a good
honestly a
time.
good experience. So, all right. So, what's his name again?
Amari.
Amari. They're
Amari.
unique names, so they're hard to
Yeah,
memorize.
yeah.
Amari. All
Hmm.
right. So he's 4, and then you recently had a daughter.
I did. I had a daughter, and her name is Aria. So,
This guy, I love these names. This is I gotta when I get a girl finally and take her through the temple and marry her. Um, I'm coming to you for kids'
there
names.
you go. All right,
All right, because
I'll be
this
ready.
guy's got them down. All right.
Yeah.
You say it was not Aria. Was it Aria?
Yep.
Aria. All
Yeah.
right. When was Aria born?
So she was born in August of last year.
August of last year, and you were working
Twenty-one.
for
So at that point, I was working where I currently work, and it's
yeah, chick.
Morning Fresh Farms in Platteville, Colorado. Chicken
There you
farm,
go.
egg
It's,
farm,
so you say they own Odell Farms as well?
Oakdale. Yep,
Oakdale, yeah.
yep. They own
Okay.
Oakdale Farms out in Utah, Lewiston, Utah.
When you go to
So
Lewiston,
yeah,
just
if I would have known the last, I was just there. Dang.
you, when you come, I'm taking you to dinner. All right, it's on me.
We doing it.
I cannot wait because I really want to. I've been doing this for coming up on 4 years. I've been racing. I have yet to meet anybody who
Really?
I have.
Wow.
Yes, have you met people?
So yeah, last year, this guy Enoch. So I raced with him back on the PS4 days before we even got into iRacing, probably
Yeah.
6 years ago,
Okay.
whatever it was. So this guy Enoch, his name's Eric Narowski. We raced for 5 years together, and then finally I had a trip out to New Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
he lives in New York, upstate New York. So like, hey man, let's meet up at Times Square and let's hang out for the day. So sure enough, we met up there and finally got to meet him, and we went to Central Park. He was like our tour guide. It was cool.
Oh
So
yeah.
he took us around and showed us the town, and yeah, we spent the whole weekend out there actually with him.
Yeah. It sounds
And
like. Sorry. Go ahead.
so Friday, I'm flying out to Nashville,
Okay.
and Greg Whitehead,
All right.
he's I think he lives in Alabama or something. He lives somewhere close. He's gonna drive down to Nashville, and we're gonna meet him, me and my girlfriend.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
cool. I think me, Jerry Culver, and a few other guys are going to meet in Vegas this year. So
for the race in Vegas this year.
yes, because I went with my
Ooh,
dad.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be going to that race this year.
You are?
I went to the spring race. Yeah.
I went to the spring race.
Really? Oh man. So you must
What?
have, yeah. Yeah, I was there.
Oh my gosh! Are you going to the fall one?
Yeah, I have tickets for it.
I do too.
We don't know if we're gonna
Make it.
cancel, and yeah, so it's still kind of up in the air, but
Well,
definitely.
definitely we'll have to. I have an extra seat, so you can come sit with me for like the truck race or something.
There we
You
go.
know, I
Yeah,
guess it'd be Xfinity, but
I have Xfinity tickets and Cup tickets. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe we'll have to sit together for the Xfinity race because there's really
Oh
nobody
yeah.
there that
Yeah.
we can. That'd be cool. I'm gonna bring my dad. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
you can meet. He's an interesting guy. He'll talk your ear off. Just be warned. Be warned now, so that way I gotta
All good.
escape.
Yeah.
I get it from him.
All
So
good.
no, I hope to meet you in Vegas or whenever you come over to Logan to check out the farms.
Yeah. They
That's
got me
good.
on one of the last I was out there in the spring, like I said, and I
Hmm.
bought one of the Kyle Busch autographed helmets.
Oh, really?
Replica, yeah. And that was gonna be my next new thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna start collecting all these
They're
helmets.
so expensive.
Exactly.
You
Until
can't
you
do it.
realize, like, yeah, there's no way. I bought just the one, and I was like, oh man, what have I got myself into?
See, what I found is I start collecting like older stuff. Like I started collecting like older cards and older die casts and stuff, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And like I have an old Del Jarrett jacket I collecting, and I want to go get me an old Mark Martin one. Like, so there's some jackets you can find for like really cheap, and then other ones you're like, oh, this jacket always sells for $200. You're
Yeah,
just like, oh my gosh.
it's
So
crazy.
yeah, collecting is hard. So
It's there.
he's not even one yet, is
She,
he?
she,
She,
she is.
she is one.
She is. August was her birthday.
Okay,
Mhm.
just talking yet or walking at all or
She's trying. Oh, she's definitely walking, but yeah, as far
okay.
as talking, she'd say a few words here and there, but
Here
mostly
you
just
go.
babbling.
She says Dada and Mama.
Yeah, there's her. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. That's about all you get for now.
Which one did she say first?
It depends on who you ask.
Oh,
Yeah,
I gotta hear this.
yeah. No, it's definitely dad. Yeah.
Got it. Is the wife
But,
next to you? Is she hearing this?
she's in the bed. She's probably
Oh,
sleeping now.
yeah. Sorry, we took up. We're really
Probably
late.
wondering what's this weirdo doing
What's
in
this?
there.
Why is he sitting
Yeah.
there talking to this weird guy?
Yeah.
Sorry for taking a bunch of your time, but
Yeah.
yeah. So she's doing good, healthy.
She is. Yep.
That's
She's doing
good.
great. All of them are doing well.
What's been the biggest challenge of being a father?
I'd say at this point now, it's balancing the time with all of them because they're all like in different stages. I got 14 and I got a 1.
Yeah,
So, the 14-year-old is kind of wants to do his own thing, but at the same time, I know when I hang out with him, like you said earlier, like I can tell he really enjoys it, but he's too cool to say it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's just too cool. I'm trying to be macho. So balancing the time with all of them, racing, just the different hobbies you do. You kind of sacrifice all of those
You do.
for time with them. So you kind of get to miss, well, you don't miss out, but you got to postpone your personal life,
Yeah.
fun hobbies and
Well,
stuff
that
for them.
that
So
that is your life. That's what I was
yeah,
always told is when the kid is born,
mm,
your life is over. It's
oh
all
yeah,
about them from
yeah,
there on.
yeah, it is. So that's probably the toughest part. But I mean, once you get past like, hey, you can't be on iRacing for 18 hours straight,
No, you
you
can't.
know. So
You
once you
can't
get
pull a
past all that,
striker.
all
You
that crap,
can't.
yeah, and you know, it's not bad. I wouldn't change it for anything.
That's
Financially, if
good.
I could, I'd have more. I love them, love having kids. It's awesome.
I, as a 22-year-old, I'm like, just Lord, please wait till I'm like 28. Please
Yeah.
don't do it to me. Give me some time to party when I come back from my mission at 25. Like, and there's this girl I went out. I said I went out to Josh Turner with her. I'm like, oh, she's like, I haven't gone on dates in like 4 years, and like the one date I went on was a horrible experience. I don't really call it a date. And this is the first date that I went on was like, okay, this girl's amazing. And you're like, I'm sure you hear that about a bunch of girls that you went out with, you felt that way. You're like, this girl's special. I'm like, ah, you
Yeah.
don't want to mess it up.
Yep. You'll find a way to do it. Now it's whether she stays there after you mess it up or comes back. Then you'll know that's the one.
That's a better way to look at
Yeah.
it. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
You have an experience that you had.
Well, the one I'm with now, I've screwed up with her, and she's stuck by my side. Not like terribly bad.
But yeah.
Not talking about
But
cheating on her or anything, but
no.
yeah, no, I've made a lot of dumb choices
And she
along
goes,
with
why
her.
did you do that?
Yeah, yep. She's stuck by every decision I made. She's great.
That's good. It's hard to find.
Yeah,
Oh
it really
man.
is. It's,
Dude, it's like it's weird. So like how was dating going for you when you were growing up? What was that like? Was that something you easily
uh,
moved into, or was it like this is an extreme struggle?
no, I mean, I guess like high school days, dating was non-existent.
Okay.
I was, like I said before, I was more into the drugs and drinking than women. And usually that comes with women, but for my case, it didn't. So yeah, there was no dating there. And once I joined the military, um, that's when I actually met my ex-wife. So I didn't really date much. I maybe went on a couple dates before her, but she was really the first one I ever went on a date with and whatever. ended up marrying her. So I didn't really have, I guess, a dating life back then. And then after divorce, went into bad mode again. And you can't even call it dating. But I was seeing a few different girls before I met Jackie.
I had a roommate that he's 30. He was 30 something. He was like 35 or something, and he got divorced from his wife. Then he rented a room from me here in my house. It seemed more like the room was rented just as a pad to bring any woman he wanted into this house.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was just 22-year-old kid. I'm like, oh my, I have to hear this. I have to deal with this. So he's kind of going through that journey too. He actually just moved back in with his ex-wife.
Nice.
You're like,
this brings up a question I have for you. So while I was out, I went out to Utah and learned a lot about the LDS community and this newer generation. I heard something called the Provo Soak.
Oh my god!
I need to know.
Oh,
is this a real thing?
Oh my god! Are you serious?
Yeah. Is this an actual? Everybody that I asked.
So there's more to it. It's a BYU thing. You know Brigham Young University.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a BYU thing. It's called soaking. Okay, do you know what it is?
I've heard. Yeah, for
they put the willy inside and just kind of sit
in there and just sit there. And then I've heard a third party comes in.
You've heard about this?
Or shakes
so
the bed.
it's called shaking the bed. You go and you help them shake. You shake a bed for your dorm mate, and so the one soaks, and then somebody gets on the top bunk and shakes the bed.
So this is a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's great. That is awesome.
Yeah. I've never done it. I just know that it has happened. Like, I'm sure it's happened. Like, it obviously wouldn't be a thing.
I thought it was something they just made up,
Oh, no. Like, it could be, but like, no, I don't think it is, because I think so. It doesn't say anything about, like, it says like there's a law of chastity. You don't view bad things. You don't have sex before you're married, or that kind of like, that kind of stuff. And so, but like, that's not, they don't call that, they didn't think that was sex.
Yeah.
They thought that was like, oh, it's soaking. It's not sex.
Yeah,
it's not, we're not going
loophole.
all the way.
It's like their loophole.
It's the loophole.
Yeah.
The loophole is to do that, then have somebody shake the bed for
awesome.
You. And so the church has come out and said nice try.
So it has happened. It is a real thing. If the church has come out and said, "Hey,"
I don't think they've deliberately come out and said, "Yeah." So it's like, and I think they've basically come out and like said, like, "Hey, these kind of things are the same thing," So that's. So I heard while you were here, you visited you visited the Logan Temple, right?
The Logan Temple, I just walked around the outside. There was nobody there. It's all gated up, obviously.
Yeah.
But I parked the car, walked around there, and then went down the hill to the, let's see if I mess this up, Tabernacle, because it's not a church down there.
Are you talking about the Salt Lake City Temple?
No. So in Logan,
they probably do have a tabernacle in Logan. Uno momento.
Yeah. So at the top of the hill there in Logan, they got the temple.
Oh yeah, they got the Logan Tabernacle. So I was actually the Tabernacle. Yeah. So tabernacles are basically old. Kind of, I wouldn't say they're churches. I don't know exactly.
I told
what they are.
The guys I worked with out there at the farm, I was like, I went to the church down at the bottom of the hill. They're like, it's not a church.
It's a tabernacle.
I was like, oh, geez, sorry.
So I was actually baptized inside a tabernacle. That one was built in 1891. That temple you went to was actually 1884. I have all this memorized. Believe it or not, I do. Big into these old pioneer buildings because like the temple, like my favorite temple is like Manti, 1886, 1888. It's just they're built different,
Yeah.
So that temple you actually saw there in the 70s, it was The structure was dug out from underneath it. It was raised, put on stilts, and they took out the entire inside of the temple
That's crazy.
and rebuilt it. So
Which
that
is
outside is still original from
which is
eight.
isn't it kind of what they're doing now to the one in Salt Lake?
So in Salt Lake, so in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we do this thing. We do ordinances called the baptisms for the dead. So basically, what that does is we believe it basically has to do with the plan of salvation and what we believe on. Like we believe there's spirit prison and like spirit prison and then spirit paradise, and like it symbolizes something as in you do these baptisms for these people who's passed away so that they can then learn about the gospel, receive the Holy Ghost and stuff like that. And so what's going on with Salt Lake is they're doing renovations, obviously. They're putting a new structure underneath it, and they're adding a second baptistry. And so what the baptistry is where we do those baptisms for the dead.
Okay.
All right. So you go in there, and so basically I go in. So the baptistry is always on the lowest level of the temple, okay? So like I can do baptisms because I hold what's called the Aaronic priesthood, okay? And so I go in there, I'll go do baptisms, and so you go in there, you change into a white jumpsuit, and then you go into like like have you seen baptisms be done before? Like just a normal baptism,
Like a normal,
where
yeah.
they dunk you in the water. And,
You say normal. I've seen
no,
Catholic
yeah.
baptism.
Do they put water on the head? Don't they?
Some will do water on head. Some will dunk you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do the dunk. All right, and so I think I can quote it. Let me see if I can. I don't know if it's a sacrilegious to quote it, but you go in and somebody baptizes you, and they say, "Brother Lucas, I baptize you for and in behalf of." So, like the one for me was one of my ancestors was Hugh Nelson. It's one of my dad's side, one of my ancestors that I did baptism for. Hugh Nelson, I baptize you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. All right, baptized. Okay, then you go. All right, Brother Lucas, by the power, whatever. I don't think they say by the power, but it's been a minute. And then they baptize you for the next person. You usually do 5.
Okay.
And then, yeah. So that's what they're putting a second baptistry into it. It'll be the first one, and they got another one in Lynn. If you drive through Utah, like, did you drive south at all?
No.
Yeah. You'll look to the left, you look to the right, temple, everywhere. They've expanded quite a bit. So there's actually one. I could get to a temple and back in 5 minutes walking.
That's crazy.
Running, actually. But yeah, I literally go right up the hill here, and there's a temple literally that way. So that's where I've done a few. I got in trouble last time.
Nice.
I got in trouble. You can talk about this because it's funny. I farted in the locker room.
Nice.
It was an accident, okay? But it reverberated. So there's like nothing to stop anything to reverberate in there, okay? There's no clothing or stuff to like stop the noises. All right. And then I'm putting on this white jumpsuit, and I throw my elbow trying to put this jumpsuit on, I elbow the locker door, slam. I was like, oh my God. This woman sat me down, and she's like, when you're in the temple, you got to be reverent. So I'm like, oh my God. Oh, man.
Look at this young guy over here. He doesn't know
being
what
an
he's
idiot.
Doing. Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing. So, no, it's interesting. So, any other questions about that kind of stuff?
No, I'm sure I'll have more down the road, but yeah, that kind of stuff really intrigues me. That's why while I was down there, I was like, I got to check this out. Like,
yeah,
it's interesting. Like,
yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like to get into religion and stuff. And I have my religion, but I'm like, why not learn about this? It's cool.
That's what this podcast was made for, because it's called the Temple of Speed. Okay, it was something I came up with because I'm going on my own spiritual journey, and I wanted to, be able to have a spiritual thought in every single episode. So it was like I want to teach people about something different, and it doesn't even have to be like, oh, you have to come believe this faith. No, that's not what it's about. I'll quote Bible verses and stuff, and we can do that kind of stuff. But I also want to say, hey, this is where I'm from. This is what I'm used to. And people go, Mormons are crazy. Yeah, we do weird things. I get it. I grew up in it though, so it's not weird for me.
Yeah,
Okay, I
and
grew
that's
up in
always
it.
go ahead.
I grew up in it and then came back. So
Yeah, that's always a thought that I kind of had growing up. It's like, oh man, Mormons. I've always heard, oh, Mormons are weird. They're always those weirdos that knock on your door. And I had
you,
my first run in when I was in Kansas, and I was like,
uh
oh
huh.
shoot, come on in.
Come
This
on
kind of
in,
stuff's
yeah.
cool. Hey, maybe I like this better than what I'm doing.
So
And
you're
then
Catholic?
I am, yeah,
You're Catholic? Do you
yeah.
go like? Do you guys
But
do church every Sunday? What's that?
I don't make it there every Sunday, but my kids they go, to they go pretty much every Sunday. So
That's
I'll
good.
drop the older two off, and that church I stopped going there when I got divorced. I'm kind of like shunned
Like
from going there. Yeah, yeah,
distance, please.
yeah.
So you drop off the
But
older two basically to go to church with their
yeah,
mom.
yep. So they'll go to church, yeah, and then they're doing the whole school. They're getting their doing the catechism thing, and
Catechism. What's
it's
catechism?
just school, church,
It's
school.
it's like
Yeah,
seminary,
teaching them. Yeah, sit down, just reading the book and learning about the different things. And
the Bible,
which
right?
yeah, which
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. But the ex-wife wants them to do it. I wish she'd wait till they're older.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
my oldest son's old enough to know if that's really what he wants to do or not. It's like,
I coming from my experience, I was forced to go to church till I was 18. Okay. Didn't believe it at all. Like I was forced till I turned 16 and then it was up to me because I could get a job and I could go to a job or I had to go to church. That was my option. Okay. And so I kind of did both for a little bit, but I never really believed. And so then I left, obviously, didn't go to church. And I even told the bishop, I'm like, I'm just not interested in this.
yeah,
And then I had some bad experiences and I came back and I actually prayed, actually read scriptures, actually pondered with like a broken heart, contrite spirit. You actually tried, you put effort in and it made you don't, if you don't do that, you're not going to understand,
yeah.
So
If
it's,
all else fails, like even in, not to get all crazy religious and stuff, but I mean, if all else fails, you go to church, you do your thing, you pray, you always leave the place feeling better than you did
yeah,
going in, no matter what they talk
exactly.
about or what you believe in. So, end of the day,
It's,
always makes you feel good.
it helps you improve and stuff. So, I'm glad we could have that talk. And we're going to get into a little bit of iRacing stuff. It's almost 11 o'clock our time. I
Yeah,
apologize.
it's all good.
I have Institute tomorrow, and I kind of wanted to go to it. So, Institute is like basically they give the young single adults free food,
Oh
a
yeah,
lesson, and then
yeah.
you all get to hang out with all the girls and stuff. It's great.
There you go.
Yeah, gotta get those chicks. Um, um, so, you race in a couple of different leagues. Sofa, Chop Shop. You're a Sofa Truck
Yeah.
champion, actually. Um, what was the? How much significance did that have to you?
A lot. So this is quite a few years back. So it's been a while since I've won one there, but yeah, I was a sofa truck champion there, and there's a lot of good. I mean, it's just like the Chop Shop series where you got the guys with the crazy high I ratings
Yeah,
and middle of the pack guys, and then the lower level guys. So there's a lot of good people in that league as well, and so it was awesome to actually win one. I don't even know how I pulled it. I can't even tell you how I did it, but somehow I managed to pull it off. And yeah, that's about the only thing any championship I've ever won in iRacing. Had my fair share of wins, but nothing too
yeah. You
special.
finished
But
third last year in trucks, though.
yeah, I did pretty well in trucks. Got the cool trophy.
Do you have the trophy?
Uh, I did get a little third place
Do you
trophy.
do you have it near you?
No, I don't. I don't know where it's at. I recently moved, so
Oh, where'd you move to? Just a new house or
yeah,
bigger?
yeah. So I
Okay.
just moved a little.
They gave you a raise, eh? So you can start affording something. They gave
Yeah,
you. Is that
yeah,
what happened?
yeah. Actually, yeah.
Oh, that's
So
funny. All
yeah,
right.
I don't know where it's at.
So you're racing. So which one? So what? When you come to a league, what are you looking for in a league?
Uh, First thing is just to have a good time. So I don't want a bunch of toxic people on the radio, you know, cussing each other out because of a mistake. Because most wrecks are, it's not people, you know, well, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of the wrecks are the lower I rating guys. They just either put themselves in a bad position or they're trying to think what the faster guy behind them is going to do rather than just run their race.
Yeah, they're like
And then,
trying to like, what's
yeah,
going on behind me?
yeah, and trying to drive in their mirror, and then they'll, move lanes at the last second and cause a big wreck, and then everybody's cussing each other out. So I try to avoid all that, and definitely Sofa is there. It's a good league. So if anybody's looking for a fun league on Mondays and Thursdays, Sofa
Do they do trucks and
Racing League.
cup?
So on Thursday currently it's Xfinity. They
Oh,
change it
nice.
every season. So it's looking like trucks next season.
Okay,
And
nice,
then Monday they run a mixed series. So they'll
nice.
do Cars Tour, the 87s, just various cars. So it's
Yeah,
a
don't
pretty
ever
fun
run a
league.
league. It's not fun. I
Yeah.
ran the Lightyear Racing League. We had over 250 drivers, 13 series. Every night of the week we had a race. All right, we had three on Saturdays, three on Tuesdays, and the other nights were singles, I believe. Or I think Sundays we had two. I was trying to manage 20 admins,
Oh man.
250. It was insane. It was massive, and it's not fun. So don't ever manage a league.
No.
I feel for Striker. Okay, Striker does an amazing job. You don't realize how hard it is to
Yeah.
manage a
Yeah.
league.
Yeah. This Chop Shop is the best one I've seen. Been a part of probably 8 different leagues, but Sofa, I've been with them for many years. ASMR, I was with them for probably 3 years. I just stopped
Hmm.
racing with them only because it interferes with Chop Shop. So, but this is by far the best league I've ever seen. Just the structure they have, the
Oh
group of
yeah.
guys, like everything they do is just it's perfect. It makes it fun. There's not a lot of like discipline and stuff, but they have their rules and it works great. I've actually tried
Well,
to bring a lot of their rules over to Sofa because Sofa's doesn't have there's no repercussion for causing an accident. It's one of the things I don't like, but I don't know they don't want to hear me out on that. They're like, ah, no, if you want that, go to
yeah,
Chop
yeah.
Shop. I don't know. Okay, I will.
All right, I will. Bye.
Yeah, but no, they're a good league. They're a good group of people too.
Well, I did not get through everything I wanted to talk about, but
Hey, it's all good.
it's late. Um, can I get you in for another podcast? Maybe 20 minutes, maybe just a secondary here about oof, probably January or February.
Yeah, man,
See if
I'll
we
be
can.
here all season. I may miss 1 or 2 races here and there, but
Yeah.
I'm in it for the whole season, so I'll be
All
here.
right. Well, you mind if I share a scripture with you real quick
Yeah,
before
that's
we
cool,
leave?
man.
All right, man. This one was given to me when I was getting my. I was just there's a blessing in my church you get that helps to set you up for the rest of your life. To help give you a path to go down. And my brother recommended me to read this scripture before I got it to kind of be able to get me to really embrace it. So the scripture is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Basically, what it's saying is trust in the Lord. Don't go out there and say, "Hey, I'm gonna know it. I know everything I need to do. I know it myself." You need to go, "Hey, okay, Lord, what do I need to do?" Trust in the Lord, and He has the knowledge. He'll direct your paths, and don't be scared to reach out and say, "Hey, give me some help with this," or "I don't know where I should go here." And
Yep,
so,
yep.
don't be scared to reach out. So, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
No, I mean what you're saying is true. It's definitely what you know makes all the sense in the world. I was the opposite. Now I'm kind of more towards exactly what you just said. get myself in a bad situation, and I'm just like, what do I do? Maybe I do it in a different way than others,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like,
Yeah,
hey,
I do that same thing. I look
gosh,
at the sky and I'm like, thank you, bro.
yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate this one.
yeah.
You know,
Like God,
I
but
know
yeah,
he answers prayers. It's weird. I know I had some moments you're like, I know he answers prayers and all this stuff. So yeah, no,
yeah,
I encourage you to say some prayers tonight, guys. Ponder something new.
yeah,
Read a
for sure.
scripture or two there, guys. It could change your life. So yeah. Uh, I just need to thank everybody for tuning into this podcast. The first episode of the Temple of Speed podcast here in the Chopp'n It Up studios. Um, it's been great. First episode. I couldn't have had a better guest. Had Jason
I
Day for
appreciate it.
the first one for the Temple of Speed. Perfect. You did great. I loved it. I cannot wait to do a second one. There will be a second one with this guy, guys. I got to get a lot of podcasts out before February next year. Lots of stuff stored. So hopefully we can get another one in with you. If you guys want to be on the podcast, hit me up. I'm looking for some interviews. I kind of try to go through and pick the people I want to do as well. That was part of the deal is I got to pick who I interviewed. And so I go to certain people I want to interview and talk to them. Of course, I pick Krober. I'm a number 8 fan. Always have it in the booth, man. You keep it up. I'll be looking for you to win the championship. I won't be able to know that you did or know anything for 2 years, but I'll just hope, okay?
Hey,
I just keep racing hard. I'll keep cheering you on until I leave. But just thank you, everybody, for watching. I want to thank everybody at Chop Shop. Ryan went. Michael Strickland, John Hammond, Jerry Culver, Mr. Church, who's over there waiting for me in the Discord. Ed Perry, get on the freaking podcast. I've been asking for a long time. Steven, you too, come on. We need to get a podcast with you. Michael Newbrow, I'd love to interview you. I know the answer is no. We're also looking for
not
some
that
people.
bad, guys.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
dude.
yeah. No, he's awesome. I like Newbrow. He's a good guy. Except for he stole the 6 from me, but he stole the 6. But no, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching. Everybody, please, ponder some stuff tonight and do some prayers. And thank you for watching. And good night.